going on YouTube? Thomas L here with Santa Clara Diet returning for season 3 tomorrow. Since the show stars Drew Barrymore, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Drew Barrymore movies because I've always been a Drew Barrymore fan for a while. Actually, she was actually my first crush, believe it or not. Oh no, I've always had like I've always had like a bit of a crush on Drew Barrymore and all. I think she's really pretty. She's a talented actress. She's been in the business for years and all. So with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Drew Barrymore movies. All right, coming in at number 10 is Going the Distance. Now this film stars Drew Barrymore as Aaron and Justin Long as Garrett, who end up meeting one day and they fall in love. One day, Erin ends up moving to San Francisco to finish her journalism degree, and so Garrett stays behind in New York to work in the music industry, and they've pretty much had like a long distance relationship. I mean, long distance relationships aren't the best sometimes, and so of course the two have to try to make it work out and all that. Like they do stuff like do webcammings. They talk on the phone and all that. It's a really good film. I mean, I really like the chemistry between Drew Barrymore and Justin Long. They were great here. You also had Jason Sudeikis. Charlie Day was in this. This movie, sadly, didn't really get talked about a whole lot when it was released. I really dug this movie. I mean, it wasn't like great, nothing like that, but I thought it was a really cute, charming, and it was kind of an original romance movie. Like, I don't think we've ever really seen a romance movie quite like this. And the movie was released in 2010. And also, Christina Applegate was also in this too, so there's that. Yeah, this movie was really cute. It was charming. Good performances by both Long and Barrymore. If you guys never seen Going the Distance by now, I highly recommend it. It's a really good little film. Coming in at number 9 is Riding in the Cars with Boys. Now, this is based on a true story film. And it stars Drew Barrymore as Beverly D'Onofrio, who of course was a writer. And in the film, she ages from 15 to 35 in the role. And so, it reveals her coming of age in the late 1960s and her whole life colored by an event that happened when she was only 15. So, the events, span more than 2 decades as the young heroine experiences often humorous and sometimes irreverent, but, certainly a unique. The film is also certainly a unique personal journey to make something meaningful for her life and all that. The film also had Steve Zahn. He was also in this. The movie was directed by Penny Marshall. She did a great job at directing. I mean, I did my top 5 favorite Penny Marshall movies not so long ago, and this was, of course, in that list. A few other people that was also included in this included Brittany Murphy. James Woods was in this. There was also Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne fame, Pierre Facinelli, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Vincent Pastore, some really good cast members. The movie got released in 2001, and it's a really good little story. I mean, the true story aspect was pretty decent. Barrymore had a good performance. Steve Zahn was great. Really amazing little film. Coming in at number 8 is Poison Ivy. Now, this movie also has Sarah Gilbert in it, and dejected by her relationship with her father, Darren, played by Tom Skerritt. A teen girl named Selvie Cooper grows closer to a fairly fellow student named Ivy, played by Drew Barrymore. But as much as Selvie craves Ivy's wildness, Ivy in turn is attracted to Sylvie's comfort home life, and she ends up trying to seduce her dad and all. and she also wants to kill Sylvie's mother, played by Shirley Ladd as well, who was like very ill. And I mean, Drew Barrymore's her character in this is nuts. I mean, the character of Poison Ivy, period, is really crazy. But I mean, Drew Barrymore, she was good. I mean, this is actually the movie that made me have a bit of a crush on her, to be honest. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I admit, Drew Barrymore was really attractive in this movie, and she was also good too. Like, some of the interaction between her and Sarah Gilbert was really good. Tom Skerritt, Cheryl Ladd was good in this. Really interesting little film. And also they did like few sequels that came after this, like Alyssa Milano starred in one of the sequels, and Jamie Presley starred in another one. Those weren't all that great, but the first Poison Ivy is the best. And like the way Ivy seduces Tom Skerritt is really insane. And the movie got released in 1992 or 91, around those two, around that era. But really good little film. Coming in at number 7 is Firestarter. Now, this movie is of course based on a book by Stephen King, and it was actually one of Drew Barrymore's like earliest roles, as a child, because of course she was like a former child star. And the movie was directed by Mark Lester and starred the likes of Martin Sheen, Heather Locklear, David Keith. And in it, David Keith plays a guy named Andy McGee, who has a future wife named Vicky, played by Heather Locklear. And so, they participate in secret experiments, allowing themselves to be subjected to mysterious medical tests. So, years later, they end up having a daughter named Charlie, played by Drew Barrymore, who has a weird ability where she sets up fires from her mind. Hence the title Firestarter, because she starts a fire, so hence the name there. Firestarter is nuts. Drew Barrymore is probably one, besides Poison Ivy, this is another creepy role from her. The stuff that she does in this is insane. This movie got released in late 1980s, and it's a Stephen King classic. If you guys never seen Firestarter, it's a really good one. And I remember hearing words that Blumhouse is supposed to do a reboot of this. I'll be down to see another Firestarter. But who could play the Drew Barrymore role? That of course has to be wait and see. But maybe someone will do it better. All right, coming in at number 6 might be a little bit cheating because she doesn't really have much of a big part in this, to be honest. Yet she's only in the beginning, and that's it. My number 6 favorite is Scream. I love Scream, and her death scene in there is. If I did my top 10 favorite deaths in any of the Scream movies, her death scene in this will probably take the cake. It's probably also one of my favorite opening scenes to a horror movie, where of course she is home alone and she answers the phone, and of course that's the Ghostface killer, and the Ghostface killer breaks in her house and kills her up, and chops her up and kills her and all that. It's insane. I mean, it was directed by the great Wes Craven. Of course, you got Neve Campbell, Matthew Lillard, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Henry Winkler was in this. Some pretty good cast members. But the scene with Drew Barrymore is great. I mean, it's funny that Drew Barrymore was in this because, in the posters, would be very misleading because Drew Barrymore's character is in the poster, and you think, hey, maybe she's the lead role, maybe she has a lead part in this. And when you go see Scream, you'll be surprised to know she's barely in the movie. She's in the beginning, and that's just it. I think lots of people were probably pissed off when they saw that scene when they first saw this movie back in the days. But anyway, I really love Scream. It's a horror classic. I mean, it's a movie that kind of like how the X-Men film franchise redefined the superhero genre. Scream was the film that redefined the slasher genre. So, I really love this movie. All right, coming in at number 5 is Never Been Kissed. Now, here Drew Barrymore plays a character named Josie Geller, who's a babyface janitor copywriter at the Chicago Sun Times. So so she has to like pose as a student at her former high school to do like research on teenage culture. And so like with the help of her brother named Rob, played by Dave Arquette. Speaking of Scream, Josie infiltrates the inner circle of the most popular clique on campus, and so she hits like a major snag in her investigation, and she ends up also falling for her English teacher, played by Micah Barden. You also got Jessica Alba as the main girl here. She was great. John C. Reilly was also in this. I mean, this movie actually turns, I believe it turns 20 this year. Holy cow. Feel old yet? I mean, this is a really cute and charming love film. Drew Barrymore, she was terrific. And it was directed by Raja Gosnell, who also directed Big Mama's House, Scooby Doo, and loads of other stuff. You also had Molly Shannon, Lily Sobieski was in this, James Franco. I forgot James Franco was in this. Wow. Oh, Octavia Spencer was in this too. Boy, this has lots of people I totally forgot was in this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, to be honest, yeah, but it's a really good film. Coming in at number 4 is Charlie's Angels. Now, of course, Drew Barrymore plays one of the angels opposite Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu. This movie was directed by Mick G. And it's based on the classic TV show from the 1970s. I love the Charlie's Angels movies. The ones with Barrymore, Diaz, and Liu, they're really fun. Like the action was really good. Drew Barrymore was really great here. I like her chemistry with Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu. Their chemistry were on point. You also had Bill Murray as Bosley. You also had Luke Wilson was in this. Some good cast members. Really love the Charles Angels movies. And Full Throttle, I probably prefer Full Throttle over this one, but they're both still really decent. It's a shame we never got to see a third one, though. But, of course, we got the new reboot of Charlie's Angels with Kristen Stewart coming out this year. Hopefully that will be as good, but that will have to wait and see. Coming in at number 3 is The Wedding Singer. I really love The Wedding Singer. Now, lots of people probably have this maybe a little higher, but my number 2 favorite I kind of like more than The Wedding Singer, to be honest with you. The Wedding Singer, I really love. It has really good chemistry with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Like here, Adam Sandler plays a character he plays a wedding singer, hence the title, named Robbie Hart. And the film set like in 1985, and Adam Sandler's Robbie Hart character is a nice guy with a broken heart who's like stuck in one of the most romantic jobs in the world. Of course, he's a wedding singer. So one day he ends up losing all hope when he's like abandoned at the altar by his fiance at his own wedding. And so, like, he meets a young woman named Julia, played by Drew Barrymore, who enlists his help to plan her wedding. And so, like, he ends up falling for her and must win her over before she ends up getting married and all. This movie is really cute and charming. Like, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, they both had amazing chemistry together. You also had John Lovitz. Christine Taylor was in this. You also had Alexis Arquette, R.I.P. Alexis Arquette. The one who plays Adam Sandler's grandmother in this, she cracked me up really much. Of course, Steve Buscemi was great. John Lovitz still loads of scenes in this as well. I love John Lovitz, by the way. He's always been great. Yeah, Wayne Singer is a hysterical little comedy. And it all has to do with the chemistry between Barrymore and Sandler. Like, those two work together really well. Like, when they do a movie together, they really nail it. And also, it's directed by Frank Caracci. He did a good job of directing. And the movie has some really good music in it, too. So, never seen The Wedding Singer yet? Check it out. It's really good. Coming in at number 2 is 51st Dates. This may, I don't know how unpopular this is or anything, but I kind of prefer 51st Dates over The Wedding Singer. I really love this movie. I mean, I think I watched this movie more times than The Wedding Singer, to be honest with you. 51st Dates is great. Like, Adam Sandler plays a veterinarian named Henry Roth, who, meets a woman named Lucy, played by Drew Barrymore, and one day he ends up finding out that she has a short-term memory loss, and she actually forgets stuff the next day because she was in a failed car accident. And so, Henry Roth has to, try to make her fall in love with him over and over again. I mean, most people would probably call it a little creepy, to be honest with you, but I don't know why, but it's actually pretty cute and charming, Like, I really dug the scenes, like, the way Adam Sandler's Henry Roth character tries to make, Lucy fall in love with him over and over is pretty decent. Like, I also like the scene where Drew Barrymore is beating up Rob Schneider. I mean, Rob Schneider, he was great in this. I love Rob Schneider in this movie. Of course, you got Blake Clark, who plays Drew Barrymore's dad. Sean Astin was great in this movie. Amy Hill stole lots of scenes. The one who plays like the chef in this, I forgot the actor's name. The one who pretty much taunts Henry Roth and all that, and he's actually really funny in this. Forgot the actual actor's name though. It also has some good music, has music from the Beach Boys, and I really love this movie. I mean, I could watch this movie over and over and never get tired from it. It's actually probably one of my favorite romantic comedies as well. It's a really good one. Oh, and not to mention Dan Aykroyd's in this too. Like, him as a doctor in this is really funny. Alright, besides that, a penguin and a walrus also steal some scenes. I mean, there's that shit, but yeah, definitely check out 51st Dates. It's amazing. Alright, my number one favorite Drew Barrymore movie of all time, that's gonna go to E.T. I mean, Drew Barrymore, of course, this was like her first feature film. The movie was directed by Steven Spielberg, and of course features a classic alien who comes from Earth, and he wants to go home, and he wants to be friends with Elliot. He'd be friends with a boy played by named Elliot, played by Henry Thomas. Henry Thomas was really great here. Also, the one who plays the older brother, I think the actor's name is C. Thomas Howell. He was great. Dee Wallace plays the mother. She was good here. I really love this movie. I mean, it was scripted by Melissa Matheson, R.I.P. by the way. Really good film. I mean, Drew Barrymore as Gertie, she stole lots of scenes. Like the interaction between her and E.T. Because, in the scene where she meets E.T. for the first time, she pretty much screams. That was pretty much a funny scene there. And I mean, this, of course, like I said, this was Drew Barrymore's first feature film, and since then she's done lots of other stuff over the years. I mean, this movie pretty much put Drew Barrymore on the map and all, and she was really great here. The chemistry between her and her brother, played by Henry Thomas, was all good. Steven Spielberg did a good job at directing her. I mean, I believe this is the only movie that Steven Spielberg and Drew Barrymore ever done together. That's something, actually. Since E.T., they never really done another film together, which I know this will never ever happen, but I still would love to see a sequel to this, where E.T. comes back again one day, and Drew Barrymore is all grown up with kids and all, and Henry Thomas is also all grown up, and it'll be cool seeing another E.T., to be honest. I mean, I love this movie. It's an 80s classic. It's a film I've seen as a kid numerous of times. And it's also one of my favorite Spielberg movies as well. It's just terrific. And good effects of that time. This, of course, is a classic. I mean, if you guys, for every reason, still never seen E.T., what are you waiting for? Check E.T. out. I mean, this movie is an iconic film, and had some good performances by Barrymore and all. So definitely watch E.T. It's an amazing one. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Going the Distance. 9, Riding in Cars with Boys. 8, Poison Ivy. 7, Firestarter. 6, Scream. 5, Never Been Kissed. 4, Charlie's Angels. 3, The Wedding Singer. 2, 51st Dates. 1, E.T. Now, she's been in countless other stuff over the years, like credit list. She also did another movie with Adam Sandler a couple years back called Blended, which I actually really loved. I know there was probably like lots of Adam Sandler haters who didn't like Blended at all, but that movie was really funny. Let's see. She was also in that Curious George movie with Will Ferrell, which was alright. Fever Pitch, which is another film I should have added in the I should have talked about more in the baseball list, but Fever Pitch had her and Jimmy Fallon. That's a really good one. Music and Lyrics with Hugh Grant. Donnie Darko she was in. Whip It, which was her directing film. Boys on the Side with Whoopi Goldberg. He's Just Not That Into You. Batman Forever. Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Some really good stuff here. Let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Drew Barrymore movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Thomas L signing off.